Another day, another chore. Got laundry piling out the door. Kids are screaming, what's new for sure? The supermom is asking for more. Mirror shows a little more of what I'm fighting, what's in store. Gotta keep this setting score. Oh, getting older, mama needs some Botox, yeah. My roots need dyeing, a new summer chopper, yeah. I'm ready to maybe a stay-at-home vacation. Make it till you make it, this is moment's true salvation. Think with my true crime shows at night, or live streams hinting, holding on tight. This is my respite, shining so bright to keep me sane in this busy life. The kids need me to stay sane, you see. Elevated dreams just for me. This is the sponsor, set me free. Getting older, mommy needs some Botox, yeah. My roots need diet under Cybertruck, oh yeah. I made a nanny a stay-at-home vacation. Elevated dreams, make it till you make it. Make it till you make it. This is Mommy's sweet respite. Elevated dreams, sanity for joy. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome back to Mommin It Up. How you doing? Long time no see. Long time no see. How are you? What do you think of the new little songs that we got going on? How are you? And they're true, okay? Because life for Mommin has not been easy lately, if you can't tell. Definitely need to get the hair dyed soon. But you know, I have priorities, and priorities are the littles. Even though my middle one, I have to look up to him now because he's growing like a leaf. But I have missed you all. I hope you're doing well. I am so grateful to be here with you all on Saturday morning, the 11th of April. Can you believe it is 2026? It's so crazy how like time is flying by. Let me just fix everything over here. You know, I am a one gal show. I appreciate you guys. You really are my respite. I enjoy coming on and blabbering. Even if I only see a few of you, you all are just awesome. And I thank you so much for sticking by and hanging out with me, and all your kind words and your kind, you know, emails and checking in to see how we're all doing. It is really appreciated. Let me just change the background. I don't know. I was going to leave the snowflakes, but I mean, it's not snowing. Oh, we're not ending yet. We just started. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Is there anything new? Looks like StreamYards has actually been stepping it up. I'm quite impressed. I think that's it. I hope this background isn't too much on you all. Let me see. I think we'll just do a basic one. I mean, it is still snowing in some parts of the country right now. It actually is still snowing. So It's really crazy, but hey, the times that we are in, y'all, are just shocking. Absolutely shocking. Let me know if there's a lag, and I will take the camera off if needed. Let's see. How are you? Everything going well? You guys can hear me all right? This isn't going to be a really long live, but there's so much I really did want to talk to you all about, and it is Autism Awareness Month. So I figured this would be a great time for me to come on and give you a little update on how everything is going with me, as well as talk about a little bit of stories that have to do with autism. Definitely. Oh, thank you. All right, so it looks like everything's going well. I can be heard loud and clear. So thank you so much for that. I know the camera, I don't know, it's odd. Like the camera just seems like a lot of times it causes like a distraction and like a lag. Like you all understand, like life is hectic. So for me to be able to come on and talk to you, that's really just all I care about doing right now. And we'll work through the kinks as time goes on. But I would need to have soundproofing and perfection to talk to all of you. I think that's really kind of silly. It takes me away from being able to make content. I put so much time and effort into researching, and I just get extremely OCD and I become a perfectionist. And then that carries into weeks of me not being able to get on here. So I'm trying to just go live or just pre-record without doing all the added stuff because there's really no reason for it. Really. I know that. And I don't know what my deal is and why I get like that. I'm a work in progress, always. I'm definitely a work in progress. And so there's just been a lot of changes, and everything has just been really hectic with everybody's life. So what we've decided is that for right now, I'm just going to be making content on Mommin, and then if I have guests and things like that, we'll do that. But unfortunately, Mo isn't able to do anything at this time. They have a business that they run. She, is a business owner and a mom, and we just can't seem to get on the same page for timing and scheduling right now. But I hope in the future that as I evolve and Mommin becomes like more of a brand, then I can really venture out into other things. But for now, I'm just going to focus on what I could bring to you guys and stick to having a set schedule of shows. So what I'm going to be doing is 3 shows a week minimum, and that's going to be primarily on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I'm going to try to do shorts every single day for the next 90 days. And we're going to just make it work. And then if I have to do some changes to the schedule, I have to do some changes, but at least I can tell you guys when to expect content from me and live streams. And that's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then obviously there'll be things here and there on the weekend. So that's my goal. And I just, for everybody that's new here, I am CCN, and I thank you so much for coming by, Mommin. I'm a single, autism mom, just trying to keep it real. And I'm juggling this beautiful chaos of having 4 amazing children. And considering April being Autism Awareness Month, I figured today I'm going to open up my heart in a really big way. And it's not just another awesome, video. This is going to actually be not your typical awareness video because I want to also include some of my story in it. And so it's going to be mixed in with a little bit of some of the most powerful real life hero rescues and true crime moments involving autism that I also came across. So these stories remind me why I keep pushing and why I love sharing this space and why awareness isn't just a month, right? It's a lifeline for many of us. But first, I want to just give you guys a disclaimer for all of you that are here regularly and for everybody that's new. We live in a world full of legalities, and therefore, quick disclaimers are pretty important. So, for all the lawyers out there on the internet and the wannabes, this whole video is for entertainment only and is based on my personal opinions and experiences. Please do your own research, talk to your doctors, talk to your professionals. Always make decisions that are best for you or your own families. I am just a mom sharing stories. And this is never going to be medical, legal, or any type of professional advice. I am just momming it up, hanging out with y'all, going over things, even though I try to do my due diligence. I am totally going to fall back on entertainment only, fair use. And if anybody ever has any issues or questions about anything, my information is in the description below. You can contact me, email me, and I can edit something or address something if there's something that ever offends someone or bothers somebody in any way, shape, or form. Please reach out to me and let me know. I do believe that as an American, we do have certain legal rights like freedom of speech, but I do know that there is terms of service and guidelines when we're using YouTube or any platform. So I try to stay within all those guidelines. And I do ask that the chat does the same. So please be like kind and considerate. I don't want people to not be able to share their opinions and perspectives, but don't use like foul language and all that. I mean, I try to set the shows for 18 and up. That way, we could really talk and vent and things. And hopefully nobody really crosses lines. We're adults. I want this channel to be adults only. I don't want this to be a channel where there is kids hanging around or anything like that. But I also think that it's important to know that we're on the internet and it is YouTube. So be considerate because you never know, who's in chat, who's watching, things like that. And, so yeah, I mean, let's get into some real talk. I have had to focus a lot in the last year on myself, my family, and I am a mom of 4 amazing children. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for being a severe autism parent. Nothing. Like it was something that a lot of people, I just don't think you cannot understand it unless you are an autism parent. For severe, profound, or level 3 autism, words can't express it. You really have to live it and experience it. But I hope that anybody that is trying to learn, or if you are a caregiver or you have a loved one or a good friend or a neighbor or something that does have somebody with level 3, profound, severe, whatever it is that you prefer to call it, that this could maybe help you too. I don't want anybody to feel like you're not welcome here, because you are. And I'm sorry I'm saying I'm a lot. It's been a long day. I'm exhausted already. So yeah, it's nothing that I could have ever prepared for. And as a mom to a child that already had very unique medical complexities, and we had like constant wound care and wheelchairs and all kinds of things and surgeries, and there was so much that went into that. And I never in my life would have expected that actually having a child with severe autism could be such a roller coaster of emotions, of ups and downs and highs and lows, but um, constant worry and almost grief and grieving that comes because you're always worried about their future. Like, what happens if you're not successful enough financially to get them all the services that they need and all the therapies that they need and they deserve? What if you can't plan for a future? Like, what's going to happen? How do you ensure that they have a caregiver that's going to take care of them? How do you keep them out of being institutionalized and safe and loved and provided for? And you have to do so much that you've never thought of. And it is emotional for me because I know we all know our children best. And I knew for my daughter, when we talked to the neurologist the last time before we left New York and moved down to Tennessee, that if I could get certain things for her before that little window that children have kind of closes, then she would have the best chance possible at a more quality of life, of learning how to communicate or learning how to self-regulate or learning how to adapt into a world that a child like her is not made for in a lot of ways, right? They're amazing, amazing little people that are, I mean, it's just so, I get very emotional talking about it because it's so incredible what you can learn. But at the same time, it's horrifying because you know the world doesn't understand it. So you're constantly in this um, grieving mode. You're worried all the time. You're worried if they're going to elope. You're worried if something's going to happen to them. You're worried if they're going to get hurt because they don't have any situational awareness. You're worried that somebody isn't going to understand, that they don't understand basic conversations. Sometimes they don't answer to their name. Sometimes there's just so many things, right? And nothing prepared me for that. And she started to exhibit severe autism in about 2022. It became very, very profound when she was a toddler, that she was in her own little world and she would get sensory overload. And with that, my life changed dramatically. So a lot of people don't really know me anymore because I'm not the same person. I'm not the same woman that I was before, I would say 2021, 2022. And it's sad. I wish that people were able to stay with us during this time in our journey. But a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. Let's be honest. 2020 gave us a reality check that people were able to just not be around because they just didn't want to. And they could use the 6 feet and social distance and do you have your jab card and all kinds of things. Because there was policies or regulations and some places put laws into effect, right? But for me, I found that it was detrimental because my daughter's development was severely impacted and we weren't able to get anything that we needed for her because everything was closed and everything was virtual. So I started to realize that the friends that I had shown up for years, that were family, weren't showing up for us. I realized who was real and who was fake. And while I may have kept these relationships, and you may be able to find them on Facebook, and you may be able to do Google searches and see what comes up, it doesn't mean that those people have been a part of my life or my family's life. And I think a lot of us that have children on the spectrum, especially when they're severe and profound, we realize really quickly that our village is really small and we need that village to be safe, secure, stable, and everything that we want it to be for our family and for our children to flourish. And it impacted me so much so that we knew that we had to move because of that, as well as other things. And I mean, yeah, I thought the toddler years were wild, being a mom in general to my older boys. But then the autism showed up and it just turned the roller coaster into a full on loop de loop without a seatbelt, right? And that's the truth. It's really the raw truth. Is the stress of raising autistic children and special needs kids is tough in ways that most people will never fully understand. They just don't understand. I mean, I've had people ask me, oh, what's going on and how come you're not gaining as much weight? And I'm like, I haven't been able to get to the appointments that I need since everything went on with, I had this whole wisdom tooth debacle in 2019 to 2020. And so I've had to have implants and all kinds of things go on. And my jaw is affected right now, but I just haven't been able to get to the appropriate appointments because you can't just ask somebody to watch your child when they have severe autism. It's a 10-person job at times. So it's not easy to coordinate that at all. And until the fall of 2025, right, in September of this past September, I was her only provider. It was just me, just mom. There was nobody else. I think grandma babysat maybe 24 times in her life because grandma's older. And nobody watched my children for me. I didn't have family like that. I didn't have friends like that. Everybody was really busy with their own lives. Or they paid people. They had au pairs and nannies. So until September, I had no freedom to be me again. And I just started to finally have time to be me again. And that took a toll on my physical health. And it's been a real adjustment. So I'm not the same person I used to be. And I'm grateful that I'm not the same person I used to be because I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly adapting. My opinions are constantly changing. And I think that's what life's about. Life is about changing. And it's not always for the best sometimes, right? It might be for the best for me and my family, but it might not be the best for some of the old friendships I had or some of my old jobs or even relationships with certain family. And that's okay. And that's why I wanted to come on and talk to you guys and be raw and honest and unfiltered and share a little bit more than I normally would, because that's what I want to do for other parents. During the Autism Awareness Month, so many people learn, and so many other people that are going through it, that are all alone, that cry in the shower or cry in the closet. They may find some of us and we could help them. You're not alone. And it does get better. And some days are really hard, but then you're going to have these amazing moments and it's going to be all right. We just have to find ways to connect people because it does take a village. And a lot of times this village is a virtual village for most of us. Most of our lives change so much where we're at home a lot because we can't take our child places. Not because we don't want to, not because we're embarrassed or ashamed. No, it's because these places aren't safe places for them. They're not autism proof. You hear baby proof. Well, what about autism proof? A lot of people can't handle that. And it's not fair for our child or for the other individuals. So there's a big chunk of time that you just can't really go anywhere. And wherever you live, wherever your roots are, that's where you're planted. And that's what you have to make your vacation. You don't go away. You have a staycation. You have a sanctuary. And you have to find a way to make it work. So virtually, a lot of us are there for one another. And I'm so grateful for that because it was so many different autism parents that got me through some of my hardest times, trying to figure out how to navigate everything. And it was so difficult because I had known severe, profound autism. My ex-mother-in-law, She was amazing. She was a pioneer in trying to get ABA therapy and things before it ever happened. She was an advocate against one of the jabs that she believed really caused some of the catastrophic impacts neurologically to her son. And so I knew a lot about different therapies, different things. And I experienced being a caregiver for somebody with profound autism that was nonverbal, that was much taller than me as, an adult, and I helped take care of him. So I already had an understanding, and still it was nothing like what it's like to live it. And I think I cried so much privately that I was just out of tears, and I had probably not cried very much in the last 2 years, except for the last 2 months. The last 2 months, I went through all sorts of emotions for a lot of reasons. And that's when we realized that it's better for us to be single at the moment. And we're co-parenting. But I've been pretty much a single parent for a long time with a partner that was here when they could be. And that happens to so many families, right? It does. It happens to so many of us. So many of us. I mean, the stress of raising autistic children and special needs kids is really hard. It's not just the therapies, the appointments, or the daily battles with meltdowns and elopement. It's the constant weight on your shoulders, the fear that never really leaves, and the way it relapses, and it like reshapes every single part of your life. And it does relapse, because you'll have like these amazing, consistent, patterns and routines, and then out of nowhere something could just happen and it's almost like a relapsing effect, right? It's like a setback, and it's something that you really have to live it to understand it. So it takes a toll on relationships, because you change as a parent, you change as a partner, as a girlfriend, as a wife. It just changes. It changes everything. And you don't get to have that quality time anymore that you used to have. It impacts the family in a big way. And that's why, separation, divorce, and things is so high. So yeah, the last 6 years have been exactly that, a nonstop roller coaster, really. I mean, I found myself becoming a stay-at-home mom right in the middle of that pandemic, juggling more than one child with special needs. Everything was virtual. We were in a state that cared more about all or nothing rules, right? They didn't care about what was best for each individual or each individual child. And I had one child who literally could not wear a mask because of an ultra rare disability that they were born with. And their skin would literally blister and tear off at the slightest friction. At the same time, I had a little girl that desperately needed a chance. And I couldn't do speech therapy, OT, ABA, all the therapies that were used. And they used to be plentiful in New York, right? Everybody moves to New York because it's full of resources and all this extra help. But it was reduced to virtual or absolutely nothing. And as a family, we knew we had to make a change. Relocation was the only answer if we wanted real services. If we wanted real chance for our children, it had to be in a place that valued freedom and what was best for each child. And moving to Tennessee was something that I had dreamed of since I was little. I'm sure that there's tons of VHS tapes that have videos of me talking about Tennessee and Alabama. Since I was a little tiny thing, I knew that I was not made for New York. I was never made for New York. I don't know why. I mean, I've done some genealogy stuff with DNA, and which is hard because technically, I'm an orphan technically. But there's certain family and stuff that scattered apart the South. Sorry, my phone's going off. Hang on 1 minute. My phone is going off. 1 second. I'm so sorry about that. Let me just play this little intro really quick. Not the intro, but I have a little funny commercial I could play while I answer this really quick. The Mommin Parade. My roots need dying. A new Cybertruck. Oh yeah. Welcome to the Mommin Parade. With dreams of freedom are made. Listen close, don't you wait. Another day, another post on the ground. Trying to look effortless for the fans. Kids are screaming, my life's not a scam. This super momfluencer is building her brand. Mirror shows a little bit more of what I'm fighting, what's in store. Gotta keep the sanity score before I hit the floor. Oh, getting older, Mommin needs a Cortex, yeah. Botox, it should say Botox. My roots need dying, a new Cybertruck, oh yeah. A maid, a nanny, a stay-at-home vacation. Fake it till you make it, this is momfluencing salvation. Can't quit my true crime shows at night, or scrolling for deals, holding on tight. This is my respite, shining so bright to keep me sane in this curated life. The kids need me to stay sane. You see, elevated dreams just for me. This is sponsored by Instant Coffee Co. Finally freedom. Oh, getting older, Mommin needs some Botox, yeah. My roots need dying, a new Cybertruck, oh yeah. I'm made a nanny, a stay-at-home vacation. Woohoo! Elevated dreams, fake it till you make it. Big till you this is momfluencer, sweet respite. Yeah. Elevated dreams, mom, for sanity, for joy. Welcome to the Mommin. Sorry about that. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so anyway, where were we? Oh, so yeah, so I don't know. I mean, so my ancestry is super broad, but technically I was an orphan with roots from all over the place. So while I do not think the blood in our veins define us, I do think it could lead us to where we belong. That or someone put a spell on me, which I wouldn't even doubt anymore. And I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Unless it's for health, happiness, prosperity, and teaching or benefiting others, then, I don't mind being elevated in positive ways. But I do mind when it's unfairly real life, and I was never given any rules or ways to work it for my benefit. Anywho, that's a whole different tangent. As you know, I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ and Almighty God. My computer just went a little cuckoo. But yeah, I mean, I've always had faith that if I trust in the Lord, put faith first instead of money, that everything falls into place. And I love the South. I mean, it is full of believers who don't push their specific doctrines on anyone. It's just good people, living their best life. And yeah, a lot of people do believe. But New York has those beautiful farms and countrysides. And I guess it is really conservative. in comparison to the city, but we wanted somewhere that like felt like America, like the America I was raised in. I mean, in New York, it was a melting pot. Like people were independent, not left, not right, just proud to be in America and free to choose, what you want to believe in and just follow our basic morals and stuff. Like, I don't know. So, you're free to choose from over 4 dozen different states in America, which is amazing. And this is just where I always felt like I was going to land. And, but yeah, I mean, now that our big move goals were met, I was left juggling a toddler, a teen who needs wheels. After he gets about 1,000 steps a day, he can't really do much more than that. And it affects his hearing. So that's not easy. It affects his hearing pretty substantially. It's a lot. It can be a lot. I mean, having a child with autism that also elopes and wanders on top of everything. And then my little guy had club feet, and his surgery ended up being botched, and he needed another surgery. And so it was just a lot, and it can be a lot. Every day is stressful. My oldest is a soldier in the Army and embarking on his new life, and that's a whole different stress. And we all have stress, right? But we have to be as positive as we can. But yeah, I mean, in reality, just a single mom now, really, in so many ways. And let me just, the lag. Okay, I'm going to pause this. That way there's no lag. And I'm just going to open this other tab, which is something that we're going to get into in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And the way I think of everything is that, like, if it's meant to be, then their dad and I will come together being stronger than ever. And if it's not, it's not. And that's okay. Right? We have to do whatever is best for our children. And I know a lot of women out there, for whatever reason, they do whatever is best for themselves. And I'm just not one of those women, and I never will be. I'm just not going to happen. I'm always going to do what's best for my children. And if you're not showing love and strength together, then you have to try something that truly benefits the kids, because you don't want the kids to see you if you're starting to bicker and fight. And, you want them to see positive and happy and united, and, mom and dad, giving each other hugs and giving each other a kiss. Or, you might not be able to do much when you have children with special needs or severe autism, or finances right now are a big factor for many of us. But you can do things at home, right? You can dance in your house. You can still, show love to one another, and make sure that your children know, what a healthy, happy relationship is, so that when they're older, that's, they know how people should treat them, right? Because children are a product of our environments. So you have to do what's best for them. And that's just how I'm going to be. And that's why I'm going to continue to try to find ways to focus on, having some sort of a career again, and figuring out what it is that I can do for employment and things like that, because I'm so different. I've changed a lot, and we all change. But it's because I really want what's best for my children. And I know if you're here with me, then you're the same. You're always going to want what's best for your children. And so, yeah, I mean, I hope that their dad and I can overcome and, come back together and fall in love again and all of that. But, life is just hard and complicated. and messy, and I just don't need the added stress. Just don't need it. So anyway, we'll talk about that on another Mommin, a little Mommin saga, you know. Um, and I want to hear from all of you. So make sure you leave me in a comments if you're watching a replay of this. I want to hear from you. What is your experiences dealing with autism, or is there anything you want to share about co-parenting, or separating and things like that? Whatever you want to share. I just love to hear from you guys. I always read all of your comments. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, everything's down in the description, and I really appreciate it. But your views, your likes, your shares, it's all how I'm going to be able to build this channel up. And it's not easy. But anyway, so when everything shut down, I just kind of cut a lot of people off also, right? And that's another topic that I want to get into. Maybe we could talk about in another show. It's like I really found out who was real and who was not. And I refuse to have fake people in my inner circle. I'm just really picky about who I bring into my life around my kids. And I'm just really picky. Like I'm private, but I'm not private with certain things, but I am very private with certain things because I feel like I just don't think life is meant to be lived as a victim. I think that we're all supposed to, carry our heads high and always overcome things and not settle. And you shouldn't have people in your life that aren't giving you a reason to be a better you. Does that make sense? And then sometimes you need people that aren't afraid to say, hey, stop talking and listen to me. Because sometimes lately, the last few years, I can talk a lot. And sometimes I need a good friend to be like, shut up. That little short I made is one of the things I think of a lot. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it's a little short and it says, keep the thoughts inside your head, the thoughts inside your head. Oh, for the love of God, keep them in your head. Yeah, I need a friend like that again. And I do have some really good friends, but unfortunately, they're not my next door neighbors. I wish they were, so that they could tell me sometimes, Mommin, keep the thoughts in your head. Don't say it out loud. Don't do it. I know in time I'll have the same support, that I used to have at home. I know I will. But for now, I am. I'm grateful for the few I have here. And, it's not about the many sometimes, it's really just about the one. If you have a few people that are good for you, then you have more than some people wish to have in a lifetime, right? You always have to see the positive. And I'm always trying to be as positive as I can, and my body is now getting older. Stress is catching up. I mean, for the first time in 6 years of being my daughter's 24/7 sole provider, like I have to trust her, like going to school. And it's terrifying, right? It's terrifying because she's an eloper. And I've had to really surrender to the Lord that she'd be protected because I have 3 other kids who need me also. And I need to take care of myself. And I needed to, also be there for my other half, for my partner, because our relationship, suffered tremendously, right? So it's hard to find people to talk to that can understand more than just the talking points of the political info that's put out to the public, pretty much. It's like two wings, same bird approach takes hold, and politics seem to dominate everything when I talk to people these days. It's just unreal. And I find, it's so stressful. So I've learned the hard way that some people would rather play family and friends on Facebook than actually show up with a meal or a phone call. And that's why I cut off the majority of pre-2020 contacts. I mean, if you truly care, you show up. And I think I like talking about crime cases and things because I endured a lot of horrible tragedy in my life also. I saw horrible things and I experienced loss. And that's also exactly why I love making these videos. They help a few families and they give me a mental break from home. I mean, home life is stressful and this is kind of respite. I always come on here and like go over things and talk to you guys about things that I'm going to look into anyway. So I feel like at least I can be a companion or background noise to somebody else in a similar situation. And in another year or two, when my toddler's in school, or if finances finally allow for a nanny, I'll have a fighting chance to keep some brain cells and maybe ease back into a career if I keep engaging my mind. I mean, I may not finish college, but us special needs moms, we should have multiple doctorates for everything that we've had to learn on the fly anyway. I mean, we really should be getting honorary degrees and certifications. We don't do that enough in this country. But as special needs moms, I mean, think about it. Think about it. I mean, right now, I'll use myself as an example, right? Right now, I'm mastering the art of limiting stress because we need a village. And one way I stay sane is with earbuds. That's right. I always have earbuds in. If you're running audiobooks, shows, music, it helps so much with the vocal stimming. It doesn't drive you batty, right? I was able to be fully present for my daughter because an amazing professor, well, she was a PhD, she was a psychiatrist, and she was the head of an autism school. She helped me during the pandemic. She met with me, she did parent groups and parent training, and she would meet with me privately. And one of the tips that she told all of us was to wear earbuds so that we could still hear if something had happened and stuff, right? It didn't block out all sound, but we could keep ourselves calm because you have to stay at a certain range vocally, and it's very repetitive when you're trying to teach basic language and you know simple things. And the vocal stimming and the yelling and the constant chaos is a lot for our bodies, right? Our brains. So that's how I learned how to use the earbuds, and I'm so grateful for all of that. And for all the new moms and caregivers watching, oh, sorry, I glitched. I don't know what happened. But for all the new autism moms or caregivers, if you guys are tuning in, you know, you know what those sounds are like, right? So understanding that helps a lot. The vocal stemming, for everybody that isn't, aware, it's repetitive vocal sounds used to self-regulate or reduce boredom or stress. Autistic screeching, shouting, high pitched sounds, or loud outbursts from sensory overload or intense emotions. From the meltdowns, intense, uncontrollable outbursts that are due to overwhelming stress or sensory overload, often including screaming. And a lot of times it's physical, like the child, they're physically in pain that causes their meltdown. It's horrible. It's so heartbreaking. Delayed ukulele, repeating phrases long after they were heard, sometimes without communicative intent. A lot of times we call that parroting and scripting too. My daughter does a lot of that where you'll say hello and she'll say, you'll be like, um, you know, pink hat, and she'll be like pink hat, or um, hello mailman, and she'll be like hello mailman, like she'll just repeat everything, right? But yeah, it's sensory regulation, emotional release, anxiety. And one of the things to help with meltdowns is like identifying the triggers. So find quieter alternatives, like try to get them to go and start humming, have your safe, quiet spaces. But the biggest thing is staying calm. You cannot add to the stress like the way that you handle it, your voice, your sounds, your reassurance. My thing is, I taught my daughter to count to five, and that would help a lot. She finally got to count to five. And after doing this by myself for years, where it was only the last year that my daughter started to have any kind of communication and any kind of self regulation, she didn't even play with anything. Um, it took such a toll on me in the last few months. It was just horrible. I just was a basket case of tears as I really realized like how much I endured on my own and how little I had support. Like how many people that I thought, really cared, really just wanted to come up with every excuse in the world for how they were shit people, how they didn't show up, how they didn't do anything to actually assist. And it was really emotional for me. It was hard for me, especially knowing that, I've been like a single mother and I've been doing so much by myself, and it just wasn't right. When you ask people that are supposed to be there to step up so that you can have a little bit of a break because you're human, and they not only did they not rise to the occasion, but while they're stepping up, they're secretly, talking crap about you. It was really hard. Like I had a lot of issues with their dad about how much my daughter needed a one-on-one aid. I mean, and everybody will tell you she'll run into the middle of traffic. She'll run onto a school bus that's not her proper school bus. Like she still needs one-on-one. She doesn't understand things. She'll play in water, meaning any kind of water, whether it's a toilet, whether it's a swamp. She doesn't have that ability to understand yet. And I know we're going to get there as long as I keep sticking to the basics of how I teach her, how you help her, you know? Um, but you have to have the right village and the right team. And realizing that is so stressful because I'm like, if she's not going to have a one-on-one aid, then she's not going to be able to go to school. And that's the truth. Because I can't have this kind of stress of being petrified that she's going to take off, because she will. They're exceptionally smart. So once they realize that certain parts of the day that all eyes aren't on them, forget it. Forget it. They're going to go. And I'm not going to have that, right? So it was just a lot of stress, and just realizing like I've lost 6 years of my life. Like I don't really know myself in a lot of ways. Like I'm a totally different person. And everybody that I was so close to, we don't even know each other. We have nothing in common now at all. But I was hearing some of these people like have conversations about me. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Pull up your phone bill. When was the last time you called me on the phone? And what about all the years when we moved to our new house? Did you come visit? Did you bring food? Did you stop by? Did you care one flippin' bit? Not at all. So it was a lot. It was emotionally a lot, and I earned it. And we earn the right to need time to ourselves. We have a right to come unglued within reason. And I found that like I'm in this new place that people have no idea who I am. They don't understand that I am not thin because I have an eating disorder. I'm thin right now because I have an issue with my jaw and I'm not able to properly chew without getting a migraine and like all these problems. So I'm going through all these things. I'm trying to get everything situated. My health is finally getting back up to where it needs to be. And the stress of strangers thinking that people were talking to people that used to be the ride or die people, but they don't even know you and they're kicking you while you're down. It was just a lot. It was a lot for me to take. And I have a child that's deaf in one ear. So that's not easy either. It's like, what do you do when you come into an area? Do you just like put billboards up saying like, oh, one child is severely autistic, so you'll hear screaming, yelling, blah, blah, blah. And also, like, we'll go through 50 different shades and blinds because that's what autistic children do. They're always ripping blinds and things. And then I have another child that's deaf, and I have a toddler. And so, yeah, our house is going to sound insane sometimes. Um, and we're working with an audiologist and trying to figure out what's going to work for my son for the hearing because he can't. We were going to do cochlear implants. They had to cancel that because they found that the cochlear implants had a horrible reaction to other kids with his genetic condition. And the thing is, with the removable hearing aids, he loses them. And also, it's hard because he gets blisters from pressure or friction. So, getting blisters in the ear is not exactly, something that he wants to deal with. So, we're just in this foggy place of like, right? Like, and it's all going to work out. We always figure everything out, it all gets taken care of. But I had a rough last couple months trying to navigate everything and trying to adjust to like, who am I now? Right. And I'm still me, but I'm very different in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of you autistic parents, you understand that. And a lot of us go through this anyway, even if you don't have kids with autism, right? It's like the midlife crisis kind of thing. But anyway, all right. So let's just get into the good stuff. Let me stop going on this Mommin um, pity party per se. And I'm not trying to have a pity party, but I want to be raw and honest because it's Autism Awareness Month. And I just want to be honest with all of you. And I know a lot of you, if you have a child with autism, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, I know a lot of you can relate to this, right? A lot of you can. But let's talk about the real heroes who turn potential tragedies into rescues when elopement has happened. These are not made up stories. They're recent documented cases that prove awareness and quick action can save lives. So let's get into the hero stories section of this live today. Okay. I need that. I really need that. And we're going to start out. Let me put this on for you. Let's see if I can get it to go bigger. This is a Missouri teen with autism that saved the family from fire before the ceiling collapsed. So this is all fair use, entertainment only. The link is going to be in the chat. I'm going to post it in the chat right now. Let's see if we can watch this. Let me put some music on to hopefully break this up a little bit. Just one moment. Let's see, where is the... Let's put a little background music on. Feeding the ducks. I love the ducks. Oh, I miss my Nana so much. She died a few years ago, and she was my mama. She raised me since I was a little tiny baby. And oh, we had so many funny stories of going and feeding the ducks. Animals always follow me around. Animals always seem to like bother me. And I see feathers everywhere. And that's always my sign that it's like a loved one or an angel. And now when I see them, I think of my Nana and or my bio dad. And like we have so many stories of ducks, and this is called Feeding the Ducks, this background music that I'm putting on. And it's so funny because I mean, oh my gosh, so many stories of getting chased by the geese, and then the ducks actually chase down the geese. But here, let's watch this really quick.
At Comfort Plus Shoes, our
Uh-oh.
expert staff handpicks our inventory of the top styles from the best brands from around the world. Brands like SAS, Birkenstock.
Let's wait for the commercial. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Look at this little hero. He's such a hero, and his shirt says Demon Slayer. Amen. Hallelujah. You get those demons, boy. I'm telling you, I feel like a demon slayer half the time now. I'm like one of those moms now that's praying over the door. I'm like putting my arm on the door at night. I'm like, in the name of Jesus, protect my family, protect my children, protect us. Look at him. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, everybody is welcome here on Mommin. I just want to put that out there. I don't fit into a doctrine, okay? I'm just a believer in Jesus Christ. I'm just one of those people. I'm very preachy because I do believe in God. I believe that, you have to shine your light in the darkness. But I am not going to sit here and I'm not going to judge, condemn, ridicule, or anything of that nature, okay? So if it offends you that I do talk about the Lord, I'm sorry, I won't be the right channel for you, but don't ever feel like I am trying to force somebody. I'm just sharing how I have gotten through life since I can remember. And the Lord has been with me from my earliest thoughts because, like I said, I was an orphan. So I have a huge belief in the Lord. I have a big belief in God. I've never heard him audibly speak to me. Thank you, God. Because I don't want to be diagnosable now. I'm on that line of crazy, crazy, but I want to be crazy, crazy. And no, I just have a huge relationship with the Lord because he's what's gotten me through everything since I can remember. And I have amazing testimonies of God coming to the rescue. And I've had a lot of paranormal situations and I live next to a nuclear power plant. So, the aliens, so to speak, and energy. And there's just a lot that I've gone through in my life. And for me, God is the creator and Almighty is a big part of my life. So I just want to put that out there. And I know some people get really offended, but I am a one lady show. I am not signed on a contract. So it's not like I'm bringing things to work that are not allowed at work. Because I know religion and politics is stuff that you don't bring to the office, just like you leave your baggage at the door. But this is Mommin's office, right? This is my home on the internet, my little kitchen table. So I'm not going to leave my Jesus anywhere. He comes with me always. I'm going to be authentic with you guys. And that's the truth. And it's not a grift and it's not to um, suck people in by pretending to be some amazing walk on water person because I'm not. I cuss a lot, especially whenever I can, I'm saying the F bomb when nobody can hear me. And it's a part of the New Yorker in me that I didn't know I had. So I have a lot of faults, but I don't cuss in front of my kids. I don't cuss in front of the elders. And it's something I'm working on, but I'm not even close to perfect. I don't drink because I'm allergic to yeast, not because I don't drink because I think drinking's bad. I don't smoke the green stuff because when I did, it made me super paranoid. Um, but I'm not a judgmental person. I am just a person. But this is who I am and what I believe. And I just want to tell you that now and get that out of the way because I've had a lot of people saying they don't appreciate people that are pushing their beliefs on others. And then I guess I'm not the channel for you. But I'll never try to force you and start, reading scripture every day and saying you're going to burn in hell. Like that's not who I am. And I don't fit into um, a denomination, if that makes any sense. So anyway, sorry about that tangent, but look at this kid. He is epic. Look at him. How amazing. That's so awesome. Keegan, you're a hero. Such a hero and such an inspiration. Oh my gosh. It's really hard. And that's been my biggest thing with my daughter is like, it's not easy. It's really hard for children to adjust that have autism, and home is wherever we are. But I can imagine how hard it is for him to regulate and then also to be so worried that that could happen again. It's really difficult. Oh gosh. Well, I'm going to put the GoFundMe down in the description. Let me see. I'll go put it in there really quickly. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick, and then we'll move on to the next story. But isn't that amazing? Like, look at him. You rock, Keegan. You absolutely rock. If anybody would like to, if you feel compelled to give, $5, $10, $15, um, I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I just found these online. I have not vetted any of them. I have not, that's why I have all these disclaimers. I'm just going based on what I was able to put up from ChatGPT and the research that I had done. So definitely do your due diligence. I can't imagine that this is not a true story, but in the days that we're in right now and all the AI content that I've been getting since my son's new girlfriend arrived, things just got really weird. And I've been having a lot of weird stuff happening. I'm not blaming her. Oh my gosh, the way that just came out did not come out the way. Hopefully, he doesn't listen to this. But it's made me really question what's real and what's not. So I'm not saying that don't trust this story or anything like that, but I do want people to always do their due diligence. I think it's really important to do that. All right, so let's go to this story. This is a 15-year-old that ran in to save a neighbor So this is a 15-year-old with autism who was honored for running into a burning home to save their neighbor. And this was on December 10th of 2025. So he was 15 and he's being hailed as a hero because he ran into a burning Pittsburgh home to save his neighbor, who is a longtime crossing guard in her 80s. Can you believe that? Wow. And he was honored by the mayor. He's quoted as saying, "Miss Evelyn was screaming for help and I came to help." Let's see if we can find a video of him. Let's see. See if we can find an interview that he did. One moment, let's see. What is going on? Oh, my computer does this. That's what I'm talking about. There's like all this weird stuff that's been going on. It doesn't make any sense. Oh my gosh. Not again. What's going on? Okay. All right. This is the next article. All right. So this is Green Bay honors Good Samaritan who saved girl with autism at a traffic stop.
Ready to upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows? At Overhead Solutions, we specialize in windows that look great.
Everybody, commercial time.
So thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Recognition tonight for Weldon Tucker, who saved a young girl with autism after she ran into the street. Tucker, a resident of New Community Shelter, stepped up to the plate, stopping cars and pulling her to safety. Green Bay Mayor Eric Gingrich thanked him for his swift action, saying it serves as a powerful example to his fellow citizens.
So on behalf of the city of Green Bay, it is my honor to present Weldon with this certificate of recognition,
so awesome.
Offered with heartfelt gratitude for his selfless and heroic act for the community.
The child's family was in attendance at tonight's meeting. They originally reached out to Action 2 News, wanting to make sure Weldon got recognition for what he did, telling us he's a hero and that they're grateful he did something when he found himself in the right place at the right time.
That's great. What is going on? Hold on. What is happening? All right.
Well, church, you sure did.
What is going on?
No, back up. I thought I was smoking. What happened to that? Trying to get me on a keto diet or some where I drink spinach water all day. Look, it ain't my fault all the pants in America are made.
That is, I don't know. I feel like I'm on candid camera lately. I don't understand. Okay.
Ready to upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows? At Overhead Solutions, we specialize in windows that look great, save you money, and keep your home comfortable year-round. Call Overhead Solutions today for a free estimate.
All right.
Quality windows.
I don't know how this has to do with autism, but
And now to an update on a story that you first saw only on 4. Back in February, we told you about a group of strangers in Jefferson County who stepped up to help a homeless man and his dog. Well, now their efforts have reached an incredible milestone, and our Steve Harris was there for the emotional reveal.
Oh, the dog.
So back in February,
if I don't find my daughter a dog soon, I tell you guys, I mean, it's gotten so out of hand. Our dog was put down because she passed away. Well, she passed away right before needing to be put down. She was much older. And then our little doggy, I didn't think it was good for her to come because my toddler, I didn't want him to hurt her because she's like tiny and she's super old now. So she's with family back in New York, and we're ready for a family dog now. And I know I need to get a dog that I can train specifically for my daughter. And every day, all day is puppy, puppy, puppy. It's been so stressful. I have gone to so many shelters and looked at so many dogs, and I still haven't found her dog or our dog, because obviously it's part of the family. But that is not the story that I wanted to go over. So this is the last one. I guess my computer has a mind of its own tonight. So this was the last one, is a homeless man saves child from, oh, we already did this. We already did our last one. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope some of these stories, could help to reiterate, and it shows, like, it's proving that our kids' unique strengths can actually save lives when the moment comes. So I'm hoping some of these were encouraging to you all. And I want to just leave today with a little bit of advice. And some of the advice that I want to give you is safety, right? And what can you actually do to make things a little safer is secure your home with alarms, deadbolts, and stop signs on doors. Use Project Lifesaver, use GPS trackers, medical ID bracelets with the autism info if you can, swimming lessons, because water is a major draw to our children. Tell your neighbors, register with your local autism alert programs if you have any. One thing about where I live in Tennessee, we don't have any, and I called the sheriff and I'm trying to see if there's anything we can do to get it implemented. But I also know that I'm not going to stay in this part of Tennessee. I'm going to relocate to another part of Tennessee. I'm pretty sure I don't really want to be where I am. I didn't move to Tennessee to live in the city. I don't want to be around a ton of people. I love my land. I love being around people when I want to be around people, but I like to be around people in like a go hang out at the car show kind of way, like not everywhere you go, there's a million people. Like, I like my gardening. I like riding quads. I like going out with animals. I'm a flower person. And anyway, I don't think I'm going to stay where I am, but I do think that these programs are epic and it's something that we need more of. So definitely get in contact with local people. I'm all about local. We can make such a change locally, and getting involved in your local, schools, your local politics, your local everything. It's so important. So if you have one of those programs, see what you can do to contact them or to get one started. And keep your emergency info cards all over the place. That's a big thing. That's definitely a big thing. Whew, we made it. We made it through the whole roller coaster ride together. Can you believe it? We did it, guys. I finally got back on with you all. If you're still here and you're still watching, you're officially part of Mommin's Village now. Yes, you are. And I'm so grateful. So listen, whether you're a single autism mom like me, surviving elopement scares and vocal stimming, a dad, a grandparent, or someone with 0 autism kids in your life, or you're just here because you love hanging out with me, or you like true crime hero stories, real world chaos, or if you just enjoy my random tangents about life, I want to thank you. I really do. Let me fix this. Okay. But no, I know a lot of you used to love my venting and my tangents and my deep dives and my wacky conversations that most people can never keep up with, because I like to talk about things that the average person doesn't even think of. And I want to thank you. It's people like you that remind me that there are good people everywhere, and supporting one another means the world. And support doesn't need to come in finances. Support can come in just casual conversations. Yes, my life took a dramatic change and I've lost a lot of time, but I've also gained a amazing appreciation for the simplest things. And just conversations, cherishing an old book, looking into things, understanding things on a different level. I think we could all really benefit from spending time around somebody that has autism, to be honest, and having an idea of what life is like in their world. But yeah, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I enjoy talking to you guys, and growing and changing and adapting is something that our autistic, loved ones and people in our communities do all the time. So I don't think it's too much to ask that we give a little bit of ourselves to understanding the world that they're in and what can we do for them? How can we make things better? I'm not a welfare state type of person. I think that in life, there's enough charity, no pun intended to my name, that can be done for others. I think that we are meant to take care of the most vulnerable, our veterans, our seniors, our disabled. And we can do a lot. We don't need to have, governments doing all that. I'm very much into the Constitution in America. I guess I'm pretty right wing in a lot of ways, by definition, but honestly, I'm just a patriot. I think it's kind of two wings, same bird, but I don't think that having all these social programs is the answer at all. I think that it's things that we do for others, and there's a lot that we can do that can help. Everybody has a place, everybody has a purpose, whether it's to learn from them, but everybody has something to offer. And I see in society where if somebody can no longer physically work or physically contribute to something financially, that they're disposable, like they're less than, like they're used goods. And I just think that's absolutely absurd. America was built on so much, even pre-America, right? Like, you take care of your elders, you take care of those that have gotten hurt, sick, or injured. You can learn and be a gift to this world, even if you can't do something physically or monetarily or financially. And there's something really wrong with what's happening in society right now. People get offended by words. I was raised where sticks and stones don't break your bones, and words are not going to hurt you. We need to get back to things like that. But also at the same time, have people around children with autism, have people learn from them. They're incredible. Every child has something amazing to offer. Every individual has something that we can all learn from, some sort of skill set in some way, shape, or form, some lesson. And we have Canada and different places trying to prescribe medicinal supports to off yourselves. I mean, we're in a crazy world. And I didn't want to be in that world. And I guess since I was born, I knew, get the heck out of this area, get to the South, and that's where you're going to be, and that's where your home is. Or like I said, somebody put a spell on me. I have no idea. I haven't met anybody. Nobody explained shit to me. I'm stuck down here, and I'm just trying to find my way. But I think that we can do a lot together. That's why I like coming on and conversing with you guys and talking about things and getting to the bottom of things. And Cold Justice is like my favorite show to watch. I have to see if there's any new episodes, because I do think like a lot of stuff when it comes to these crime cases and things, it's a respite because I like to figure things out and understand things on a different level. And I'm hoping that the more that I make these videos and the more I show up for you guys, the more conversations and things that can transpire, because I want my brain to keep working. I have a lot of things that I'd like to accomplish in this world, because I have children that are dependent on me. And I need to know that I have done what I needed to do as their mom to make a difference for them, not just to secure that they're going to be taken care of financially if I'm not here to take care of them, but just to know that I did my little part to make a difference, and to not get so tied up in this nonsensical infighting that everybody wants to have when there's purpose to life. And we need to cherish it, and we need to take every moment we have and create a better life for our children and our communities. And there's too many orphans. There's too many orphans like myself, so to speak, in this world. And if I could, I would have every orphan. And they like, anyway, I'm not going to get off a tangent, but yeah, I will. You know me. I'm going to go on a tangent. I always do. Speaking of which, my little guy's getting up. So if this single autism mom in Tennessee can keep pushing through co-parenting chaos, tragedy, and still have enough energy left to make a video for you, then you can do hard things too. We're all just out here winging it for Jesus, as I like to say, with earbuds, a whole lot of coffee. Really, it's Red Bull for me. I'm cutting back though, and a little faith. So keep showing up for whoever needs you. Keep trusting the Lord, and remember, you're not just surviving this crazy life. You're a part of something bigger. You got him? Thank you. And remember, when you're showing up for somebody that needs you, it could literally be one person that you smile at every day, and you don't know that your smile might be the one thing that kept them from doing something that they would regret. You never know. My middle son always said that smiles were contagious, and they really are. Energy is a mindset, and if you're around negativity, you're going to be negative. And I just can't have that in my circle. I just can't have that in my life. And I'm making the changes and trusting fate that I'm going to get to where I need to be, so that I can ensure that everything that I have worked for since I was young is able to flourish for the benefit of my children. and in turn, the benefit of everybody around me, because I'm very vocal and I'm the kind of person that would be a sheriff if I could, to make a difference. I would run for political office if I need to. I want our farms to be American owned. I want no Chinese farms all over and all the stuff that's happening. Like, I'm very passionate and I love a good debate. And I think that we need to do more where we are. And sometimes we might feel like there's nothing we can do because of a disability or finances or circumstances. And I assure you that as long as you can breathe and talk, even if you're bedridden, you can make a difference. Whether you're doing an audiobook, a podcast, encouraging word to a janitor who's coming in to clean the waste paper baskets while you're in a nursing home or a hospital or a rehabilitation. We all have power to do something positive while we're here. We really do. So I'm going to go help my older son who's doing something with my toddler. My toddler is a little cranky right now, and I know he's trying to help him with something. He said that he has this, but I'm going to we're wrapping up anyway, and then I'm going to go help. But so yeah, I digress, but like, if this video, if it made you smile, if it gave you hope, if it reminded you that you're not alone, or you're just entertained with some wild hero stories, or just my bantering and making fun of me or whatever, do a girl a favor here. Smash that like button, drop a comment, because I really do need every single one. I really do. I need to get into the algorithm. I need to step it up, because I've had to put on hold anything to do with content creating and podcasting for too long. And it's really time that I have to put my energy and effort into it. And it's going to be messy, and it's going to be chaotic, and there's going to be glitches, but it's going to be 100% authentic to whatever it is that I'm doing, because I'm real and I appreciate you all. And if you want to help me get out there, that's how you can do it. So subscribe so we can keep hanging out. We're going to do the 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and everything like I said. If you'd like to buy this tired but grateful mama a coffee, so I can keep on going. I'm just kidding. The Cash App is Flourish with Faith, or the Venmo Flourish with Faith. I still appreciate the $5 coffee that guy Mike bought that one time, but I have not been a grifter on this channel at all. And I appreciate the friends that I've known in my real life that did contribute during Christmas when I was really sick. That was very helpful. That I did call on friends and family if you could help out, because I was very stressed. And some of them really did. And you all know that I believe in giving. I don't believe in taking. But I also know that if I'm going to grow this channel and be able to do things in a positive direction, then I have to be open to receiving. And I am open to receiving criticism too. But, take that with a grain of salt now. Don't make me delete your comments. But yeah, so if you want to contribute, feel free. I appreciate you guys. If you have any recommendations for how I navigate everything in Tennessee, let me know. Because it hasn't been easy. But in life, nothing is easy. Especially when people judge you off of like Facebook and Google, and nobody even takes the time to know people anymore. It's just so bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just so much going on. So much going on. But anyway, just thanks for being here. You guys really are amazing. And I just want to encourage all of you, my sweet friends, my sweet, sweet autism parents, please have faith. It's going to be all right, even if it feels like it's not at the moment. And if you can't find a village, start creating your own. That's what I'm doing. I realize I have to do my own autism family groups down here. And I'm going through a lot of PTSD in a way of remembering what happened during lockdowns, and I'm having to redo things, and that's all right. And you might have to do that too. if you want, email me, drop me a comment. But take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Watch a movie and have a good cry if you haven't cried. Crying is important. I've realized that why things hit me so hard is, well, there's a lot of reasons that it did the last 2 months, but also I realized like it's not healthy that I hadn't cried and I don't let myself feel emotions like that. And we have to. You have to release that energy. You can't keep it inside. And you don't want to be like me with wrinkles on your forehead since you're in your 20s. Because one, I need glasses and I haven't got glasses because I have light eyes. That's what they call it. I don't know if you can see. If my eyes like change. I don't know if you can see it. So the sun affects them and everything. And you don't want to be worried about Botox and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, having a good cry is good for your energy to get it out. And you could have the worst day, the worst moment, but just get rid of it and keep pushing. You have to. You have to do that. And if you don't think that anybody's counting on you, I can guarantee you there's somebody. You might even have plants that are counting on you. Our flowers need us too. Our flowers need us too. I mean that with all sincerity. Everything is a life force. If we can see what its purpose is and we have a mutual respect and understanding, we can all flourish together. And I just hope that if you're down and out right now, that you know that you matter. Because I know how it is so hard to be an autism parent, but I wouldn't regret it for a moment. Don't ever feel like you can't do it because there's nobody but you to do it. If you're the one that has been entrusted as a mom, as a caregiver, then rise above. You got this. We got this. And I'm going to keep faking it till I'm making it. Right? You're my respite. And sometimes nowadays I realize the advice that I used to be able to give so freely and my attitude on life and how I was as a person, it got jaded in the last 6 years. My life literally stopped. All my memories, all of my encounters, my experiences, I really haven't had since 2018, 2019. It's crazy. But I am where I want to be. I'm where I'm meant to be. And one day, I hope I have an answer to the story of how I ended up in Tennessee, why I always knew I was meant to be in this area of the world, and what purpose did I have to being here? I don't know. But I know I'm going to figure it out. And I know you will too. You'll figure out whatever it is that you need if you just let go and let God, so to speak, right? And try not to watch too much stuff. A lot of things are fake news. It's a lot of nonsense, a lot of AI. It's been stressful for me because I haven't been able to really even listen to songs that I want to hear, or this whole algorithm thing is bizarre. I don't get it. And I know a lot of you that are autism parents, you understand. You understand, like, our respite is having that background noise. Our respite is, it is what we can listen to in our headphones. So it's not been easy for me because I haven't really been able to connect to things. Like, everything is fake. And even though I used to watch a lot of stuff that I knew was fake already, at least it was the real fake. It wasn't AI voices, because instantly when there's AI videos, I get a headache. Instantly, my body knows. I'm weird. And it may be because I grew up next to the power plant. It may be because I glow at night from nuclear waste. I'm radioactive. I don't know. I don't know why I am the way I am, but I know I'm not alone. And I know there's lots of people like me out there. And I just got to find my people. And I also know how many of you I've met on here that have thanked me over the years, when I've been on my different little shows. And I didn't want to leave any of you. There's a reason that we all were called back in the day to talking online. And I started out and we were very political. We were Trumpers, hoping that we could make America great again. We weren't Republican. We weren't Democrat. A lot of people I knew, we were like Bernie supporters, and learning how to network, learning how to conversate. These new people online. It's so funny though, like what we all went through. People are just ridiculous. I can't tell you how many Christians don't want anything to do with me because they've heard me say the F-bomb during adult conversations that they weren't supposed to be privy to. People that eavesdrop judging you for cussing. But in the beginning of all this stuff online, when I started talking and everything, it was because I knew we could make change. And I still know that. I still know that we have so much more in common than we have against each other. And it's just sad. Breaks my heart what happens to so many people because everybody's drank the Kool-Aid. People are literally fighting over things that have nothing to do with our life. Not going to have any impact on anything. It's just unreal to me. It's just unbelievable, like how many people are not up to date on the times at all. They have no idea what's going on with technology. And they're not even capable of having a conversation on opposing points of views. Everything is about politics. It's all, you either love Trump, you hate Trump. And you have to decide. And it's like, how do you decide something that you can't because you don't know this person personally? I could only go by what mattered most to me for my family. And I just don't get that. Are we Americans? Because if we're Americans, then we are not going to play politics. We already know the game. What we're going to do is whatever we can do to unite each other, get through the world that we've been put into, and make the best out of what circumstances it is that we have to work with. But we know we can only change ourselves. And cancel culture was very real. We couldn't talk about anything. And I adapted and I learned that some of my opinions and some things I thought were fact weren't. And that's what we do. That's what we do in life. We don't know it all. We never will. I'll never know anything because I'm one person. But I can know something, and I can take that something and I can try to make that something matter. Even if it's only one of you, even if it's only one person that I was able to help in some little way, that it makes everything worth it. I'm never going to be that person that cares about money like that or pleasing people. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what people think about me. As long as you're not affecting my real life and taking away from my children. But when you've cost me job opportunities, when I need the financial ability to provide for my children, because I refuse to be a leech on society and drain all of the resources that we have for people that truly needed them, although we're giving everything to migrants and immigrants and illegals and all this stuff that's happening. That affects me. And I found so many people have been doing that lately. And that's why I'm here for all of you, because I know some of you have gone through the same things. And I'll never understand that. I cannot understand how you could be so hateful for someone that you don't know at all. And I've met people like that have gone out of their way because they thought they knew something that they didn't know. Because nobody has conversations anymore. And that's why I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here as long as I have a channel. I'm going to be streaming on different platforms as long as I'm allowed. Because if there's just one person that we can have these conversations with, and it can make something positive and not negative, and that's what I've always wanted to do. So much negative. I'll never understand it. Really, I'll never get it. Can you imagine? I mean, how do people really justify that? And we're going to talk about that on the next live. But I did. I literally had people make stuff up because they had no idea the full story or the context surrounding it. That cost me jobs. The jobs that I really needed to provide the therapies and things for my children. I can't believe it's unreal. I literally had people saying that all of my kids, because they had disabilities, were on SSI when none of them are. We don't even get SNAP. And it's no shade to people that need to use those services, but one of the things that I've always been very adamant about is that if the Lord gave us a brain and we have the ability to use it, and you can use that brain to bring in income. There's remote work, there's customer service jobs, there's a job for everyone. There's jobs walking dogs, there's jobs being sitters in hospitals, there's jobs for everything that you can think of. And in some points, and sometimes you can't work physically. And I understand that. But there's just so much more to my actual real life that I feel sorry for the people that did do that. Because it has to be embarrassing when you find out that you're wrong on levels that you couldn't even have imagined. But I also know there's people that just honestly don't care at all, and they just go out of their way to try to do things to people because they have no life at all, instead of talking to you and understanding where you're coming from and how you don't fit into a box, and that we all actually, most of the time, have way more in common. As long as you don't hurt children or hurt anyone. Sometimes I can understand the whole eye for an eye concept, but as long as you don't F around with kids, because kids, forget it. If you hurt children, if you hurt our elderly, our most vulnerable populations, then no. Can't stand people that would ever do something like that. But other than that, there's a lot that people have in common if we could just talk. So I can't understand it. Can't understand having that kind of hate. I can't understand needing a job so bad that you would take money to go after somebody just because of what you thought you knew instead of finding out for yourself. I'm the first one that will admit when I'm wrong. And even if I'm not wrong, if I know that something really bothered somebody, I would still apologize for it because it's wrong. But if I didn't do something wrong and I'm standing up for something that's right, I'm never going to bow down and apologize, because we need more people that are willing to be the change and to make a difference. Do you see how horrible things are getting for people? People can't handle words in a country that's freedom of speech. There's homeless all over the place. There's poop maps in cities all over this country. So you know where not to go because of poop. There are people that need medications for depression, ADD, ADHD, psychopathy, multiple, like all these different things that cannot get those medications. There's just way too much freaking suffering for me to not try to do something to make change in some way, legally and morally. Would never be violent and stuff like that. But to know that sometimes people would actually take money to bother somebody because they thought they knew all kinds of things they didn't know, I can't understand that. And I know I just went off on this whole 20-minute spiel based on that comment, but there's a few of you that know exactly what I'm talking about, and you understand, and it's horrible. It doesn't make sense. And I just hope that there is something positive that I can do on a bigger level. And it may not be podcasting. It may not be doing talk shows. It may not be what I always thought that it was going to be, right? I thought that I was going to end up finishing my degree in psychology and I would end up being kind of like a Dr. Phil type of person in my lifetime. But then God blessed me with a child with autism and everything changed. So maybe you'll see me one day in a local leadership position, or maybe you'll see me one day living my dream of having my flower shop. I don't know. But for now, I owe it to myself to make my channel and to give Mommin a chance. Even if there's only a few of you that hang out with me, and that's fine. I still appreciate all of you, and I still want to give you a place to hang out and an encouraging word on the days when it's hard. Because none of us are perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. Life isn't fair. But for as long as we're given these amazing gifts of having this ability to connect with people, we can do something with it. And you may never know. Like my son always said, the smiles are contagious. You don't know that maybe one person, you change something in them for the good. You just don't know. You just never know. And I'm happy that a lot of you love my little rants and my tangents and everything. Since I went through so much with my internet and everything, and having to get the computer was hacked, it was like a whole thing. You know, I found myself having to talk out loud a lot. And it was like something that if you have a child with autism, you understand, like when you're home all the time, you have to find ways to keep yourself from getting too angry or getting too mad. And a lot of people that go through the severe pain as well, like if you've gone through severe pain, you know, like you have to find ways to manage that. And for me, I like to talk. Oh, it glitched out again. Oh my gosh. I know, it keeps glitching out. Hang on 1 minute. Let me see. Because I have my outro and it's not going to let me do that because it just went blank, blank again. Hold on. 1 moment. Here, let me just play my song one more quick time really quick while I get this so I can read it to you guys. Because as you know, when I multitask, I go all over the place.
Warning, may contain unbrushed hair. It's Mommin It Up. Warning, may contain unbrushed hair. It's Mommin It Up. Another day, another tiny tyrant. Where's my coffee? I'm vibrantly silent. Legos laundry, a fortress of mess. This supermom life, pure fabulous stress. Mom it up. You spill and we glue. Bring in laughs and chaos for you. Support the dream, make it clean, bright. Your love and shares are our guiding light. This mom's got big dreams right from her couch. No time for a sad, whiny slouch. Gifts are welcome, just so you know it. Venmo, Cash App, let your kind cash flow quit. Like, share, subscribe. Mommin It Up. Ooh. Warning, may contain unbrushed hair. It's Mommin It Up. Another day, another tiny tyrant. Where's my coffee? I'm vibrantly silent. Legos laundry, a fortress of mess. This supermom life, pure fabulous stress. Mom it up. You spill and we glue. Bring in laughs and chaos for you. Support the dream, make it clean, bright. Your love and shares are our guiding light. This mom's got big dreams right from her couch. No time for a sad, whiny slouch. Gifts are welcome, just so you know it. Venmo, Cash App, let your kind cash flow quit. Like, share, subscribe. Mommin It Up. Ooh. Warning, may contain unbrushed hair. It's Mommin It Up. Another day, another tiny tyrant. Where's my coffee? I'm vibrantly silent. Legos laundry, a fortress of mess. This supermom life, pure fabulous stress. Mom it up. You spill and we glue. Bring in laughs and chaos for you. Support the dream, make it clean, bright. Your love and shares are our guiding light. This mom's got big dreams right from her couch. No time for a sad, whiny slouch. Gifts are welcome, just so you know it. Venmo, Cash App, let your kind cash flow quit. Like, share, subscribe.
All right.
Mommin It Up. Ooh.
Always makes me laugh. These outros and stuff. Okay, where did it go? Oh, he finished the chocolate milk on me. I love chocolate milk. I know, I'm a big kid. I didn't drink it for years. And then, because my kids always did, so there was never enough left, right? Moms, we sacrifice everything. I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to go get this done this week. And then I was like, oh, I can't. I need to get another pool. Kaylee, they need stuff to do for the summer. So Mommin's hair is going to be put on hold again. And that's fine. That's fine. We all do this stuff for our kids all the time. I dye my hair anyway. You know that. I will never spend money on certain things, no matter how much I have it. And I never will, and I never have, and I never will. But I do like to get the tape in extensions and stuff because my hair had gotten so thin from different medical stuff. And I just love having full hair. I'm just a big girl when it comes to that. I'm a tomboy, but oh my gosh, I know, it's so bizarre. I don't understand the whole thing on that. That is very weird. Why is he playing on that? Well, I know JJ used to listen to him a lot. JJ loves the country music. So, JJ listened to all that, your brother. But I've seen him a lot in the true crime stuff too. All right, so listen, let's do the outro one more time, all right? Whether you're a single autism mom like me, surviving elopement, scares, and vocal stimming symphonies, a dad, a grandparent, someone with 0 autism kids in your life, or you're just here because you love true crime hero stories, or real world chaos, and my random tangents about life, thank you. It's all of you that remind me that good people are everywhere, and your support means the world to me right now, especially because I feel very alone in Tennessee lately. But I know I'm supposed to be here. I know it, and I still feel really alone. So thank you for letting me vent today, and how life completely changes when you have an autistic child. It's tough. It's stressful. And right now, financially, life is hard for pretty much everyone I know. So I feel you. The bills, the therapies, the everyday grind, it all adds up. In this economy, we're hoping that it's getting better, but it's also so shaky. It feels like so many of us are just holding on, and I totally understand that. But what matters is that we keep showing up, that you always dust yourself off, and you keep pushing. And can I just say, I have no idea. I don't know why Ryan Upchurch keeps randomly popping up in my life for the longest time, but it does. Or he does. I've never met him, so he could be AI for all I know. But yes, I will do some more research on him, see if we can do a live about his story maybe, if I can find verifiable sources, because from what I saw, it does look like he didn't have full control over his social media. Like, I remember seeing stuff pop up that he couldn't get in his accounts. But I thought the Instagram was his actual, like he had control over it. Anyway, it's a different rabbit hole for a different video, but it is interesting, and it has happened for a long time. And I know how algorithms work and things. It was kind of like when I was talking about, the missing child that was, Sebastian Rogers, and how Dog the Bounty Hunter was popping up. And I didn't realize, I always said holy connections. So that's going to trigger other people that have been quoted saying that. And then because we found out he also would say that. So it's just interesting, when you learn about technology and you learn about, how the advertisers follow your footprint, your digital footprints. And when we're using apps, when you're enabling tracking and you have your mics on and all of these things, how you'll get linked in with other creators, other personalities, other stories and things. And not necessarily because it's, happenstance or it's the universe bringing people together. It's actually just technology. And I'm learning so much more about all that lately. So that could be some of what's gone on with this too, is that he was around some of the channels and talking about certain things. And he's also from Tennessee. So that could be why he pops up. I don't know. I find him fascinating, to say the least. But I don't know what's true, what's authentic. I have no idea. And that stinks for me, because I'm the kind of person that really does like to get to the bottom of things and likes to not be fooled. But within reason. Because I also know that there's things in this life that we don't need to know. Sometimes I'm totally okay with being naive. And I used to say being blissfully ignorant until ignorance isn't blissful, right? But yeah, so maybe we could do that, because would be interesting to learn more about everything with his story and stuff, because I'm not sure. I just know I've heard his music and different things like that. So that's interesting. But yeah, I don't know the truth behind any of it. I don't know. But yeah, so this is Autism Awareness Month, and I thank you all for being here with me. Please remember, drop your recommendations down below. You know, what kind of crime cases or topics do you want to go over next? Because I read every comment, and if this video made you smile, gave you any hope, reminded you that you're not alone, or you just, you know, or if you're entertained by some of my wild stories, do your lady a favor over here and smash the like button, drop a comment, subscribe so we can keep hanging out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And don't forget, if you want to buy this tired, grateful mama a coffee or a Red Bull, links are below. So you can email me at 411ccn@gmail.com. And so, yeah, thank you for being here, sweet friends. You've got this. God's got you. And I'll see you in the next one, probably with more chaos, more heroes, and a whole lot of love. So, yeah, God bless you, your beautiful families. Take care, stay safe, and keep momming it up. Or just keep being awesome. Whatever your story is. Take care, guys.
Woke up before the dawn, she's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't, champion with a loving chant, investigates the hidden truth, with a pen sharp and couth, unlocks doors with every word, injustice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up, with a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Counseling in every call, catching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions firm but love so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up, with a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions firm but love so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up, with a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Woke up before the dawn, she's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't, champion with a loving chant, investigates the hidden truth, with a pen sharp and couth, unlocks doors with every word, injustice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Counseling in every call, catching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with the softer touch, opinions firm but love so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions firm but love so much. She's got a heart that never quits, child. Advocating every step through the wild. Digs deep for truth like a journalist star. Lending a hand no matter who you are. Counseling with love, she's a guiding light. Seeing the good even in the fight. Dr. Phil's wisdom she throws in the mix. Momming it up with her signature fix. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Dedicated mind, always on the track, never letting injustice slip through the crack. Voice for the voiceless, she stands tall, breaking barriers, tearing down the wall. Every opinion she gives with care, helping others understand and share. In a world that can be so damn tough, her wisdom and love are more than enough. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them a saving grace. Mama with a mission strong and true, changing the world with every view. Special needs kids in her embrace, champion for them